What's going on, guys? Grunge Gaming back here. After a while, guys, I am back and hopefully producing content on a weekly basis. Anyway, guys, today we're going to be talking about the current state of Apex and just how it's been going. I know I've been away for a long time, and this might help some people who have been too. Let's get right into the video. First, Respawn added Loba into the game. It turned out that she's one of the legends that people have liked. You know, people were really disappointed with Crypto and with Revenant. You know, people played them and then, you know, they kind of moved back to their old mains. And now with Loba, I can actually see myself maining her. It is actually kind of funny. She's kind of like the new Pathfinder only because of the ring, the teleportation. Honestly, I think that's super cool and a good way to get behind enemies and stuff like that. Even though enemies can quite clearly see the ring being thrown, you know, it is still a really good thing to have as a tactical. And it actually fills up pretty quickly for how useful it is. With Pathfinder, it makes too much noise and you can see them, things like that. And even though they just nerfed Pathfinder, so honestly, it's kind of a tie match with both of their abilities, because both will kind of get you, just like the grappling, you know, it's both going to transport you across the map, with Pathfinder making a little more noise, and you can see him too. Pathfinder is still fun because you can like control how you grapple, even though with the nerf, it's just not the same anymore. And you can't do a lot of those cool tricks or those cool getaways anymore. So it's one of the other recent things. A lot of Pathfinder mains have been leaving the game. I don't want to say leaving the game, they can still make do with it, but honestly for some try-hard Pathfinders like me, it's kind of a lot harder, and for people trying to do things like glitches, like there's a couple people who do those with Pathfinder, it's going to make it a lot more time-consuming, even though, of course, Respawn doesn't want that, and most of the community doesn't want that either, but it is going to take time to do things like that. We're getting into the perfect position that you're trying to get into. It used to be so much more consistent with Pathfinder's grapple, but now it might seem that Loba with the ring might be the better way to get into some of these high places. I don't even say camper spots, these little like nooks and crannies where you can hide, snipe from, get a good advantage from. Also, new bunkers have been added into the game, if we're staying very current. Basically with these, you know, they're kind of setting up for a new event that has been leaked. So we'll see when that new event comes out. It's supposed to come out very, very soon. And that's interesting because they still have things in the pipeline that they're going to turn out. And like a couple other YouTubers have speculated, Respawn, it's kind of confirmed now that they definitely have a 10-year plan going on. And they're kind of sticking to what they're going to do no matter what happens. And for that, it's kind of interesting because they don't really listen to fans. And they don't do anything that they really ask them to do. They've never done one fan-suggested thing. Even though they did the, you know, map thing, people hated that. They didn't want that. They wanted, you know, choose between which map you can play, but they didn't do that either. So if anything, they're almost driving away players. But that kind of leads me to my next point. Apex Legends is kind of at a turning point now, where there still is a consistent amount of people playing it, and you can still get into lobbies very fast. So I'm not saying that there's a decline in players. I'm just saying that there's more tryhards, and the Apex people are, you know, going out of it. Most players, it's actually kind of funny. Now, Warzone didn't take too many people. People still play Warzone, but it was kind of just out there. And, you know, of course, people like the YouTubers, you know, they come in, make their videos. Can't make any more videos, you know, you pull out. But the people still do play that, and that is also very sweaty. A lot of people have also been going to Valorant. A lot of the Apex Legends YouTubers and majority of those people in the player base have also gone there that weren't like Apex Legends tryhards. Now, Apex, as much as it's hard for me to say this, it's almost kind of following the same footsteps of Fortnite. And Fortnite, it's really funny, and you know, of course, some people watching this video are offended by Fortnite because they're Apex people. But basically, every game is like that. It's going to have its timeline, and soon after, it's going to start being where the only people who like the game are going to stay on, and it's going to be more competitive, more sweaty. I know a lot of people have been saying, you know, Fortnite, there's people who have stuck there, and there's no new players really, and it's just sweaty and tryhards now playing that game, and soon it'll be almost like irrelevant. It's almost turning in to almost Halo, that kind of thing. Halo used to be huge back in the day, tournaments, and they still do tournaments as well. It's just not that big anymore, and people, if you still go into those multiplayer lobbies in like Halo 1 and 2, completely sweaty. It is like impossible for newcomers to even win at those lobbies, and that is the, of course, the outcome eventually for games like Apex, and they're just bound to turn into that as the game gets older. Now guys, going back to current events and ending on current events, Apex, they've taken their fair share of criticism over, honestly, the months that they've been out. They recently hit their year milestone, and basically with Loba being released, Respawn has come under fire and accused of copying Loba's design with another Overwatch character, which of course they made tons of memes about that, and it is funny, and of course that's just how Respawn is. And staying with current dates again, we are in the quarter of Apex Legends Season 5. Apex is still growing strong, and there are more videos on that and about that more than Fortnite and PUBG. Of course, there's always going to be those YouTubers who stick around with it and get millions of views every day just because that's what they do. And of course, there's always something special to that, like they like the person doing it and things like that. And Apex Legends is a very YouTube thing. It's a stream thing. It's always going to be one of those special games that made it huge for nothing, especially the release date. Out of nowhere did they release it, and that day of, all the streamers were like, every big streamer basically paid to stream that game. And also they just came out with a huge, massive database of players, and it's crazy to see how far the game has come to now, and basically it is still growing strong. It basically is still hanging in there. Events, and of course it always draws people back. Now Apex, of course, at this moment in time is not to the point where people will start deleting it necessarily. They'll go away for it for a couple days and they would just want to see the new events. But basically, the thing is, with current events, and this is something true, Apex takes up more space on, consoles and, PCs, but mostly consoles, and that's where it's going to take up the most space, because consoles usually don't have too much data, and PCs have a lot of data, and you can get hard drives, the extensions to store Apex on with PCs. For consoles, it's a little more tricky, but it can be done. And basically, with that being said, if people only play Apex like once a month, they're more likely to uninstall it and get another game, or just to free up room, because updates, of course, with other games gets blocked on there, and just like that, Apex Legends is gone, and of course, in some of those reasons, they can never get it back because it's just too much data and they don't want to delete other games from their system. So honestly, all in all, currently, Apex Legends is doing pretty good. It has curved out. It's not like the graphs of like twitching and things like that, or even like the search rate of Apex Legends. Especially Season 5, it definitely hasn't like curved. It's actually gone up since the release of Season 5, and that's about it. Not too much else. It's just actually just been going steady, and yeah, that's good health for the game. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's been a while, but I enjoy making these videos. So thank you guys so much for that, and thank you guys so much for sticking with my channel during these times of me not uploading that often. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please comment down below if you guys want to see any other games on this channel, and hopefully see you guys all in the next video. Bye guys.